And what's up, you guys? It's your boy SF Bay Area Sports Talk, and I'm so excited today to be announcing a new series I'm going to be doing, which is doing season previews of as many of the 30 plus Major League Baseball clubs out there. So we'll be previewing everything and giving predictions. And without further ado, let's get into the Milwaukee Brewers. So the big news, of course, came out this past Friday as the Brewers gave Christian Yelich a 7-year extension, as he had 2 years remaining on his current contract. So it becomes a 9-year, $215 million contract. Now, I absolutely love this move if you are a Milwaukee Brewers fan. Not only is Christian Yelich one of the greatest players in baseball, but he is also one of the greatest out there character-wise. He's got a lot of accolades if we look at what he has accomplished in his career. Now, he came over to the Brewers in a trade from the Miami Marlins. As we know, the Marlins, they were pretty much breaking down their entire roster when they were sending out Giancarlo Stanton and Christian Yelich. They shipped him out as well. And since Yelich has been in Milwaukee, he has absolutely loved his time there. The Brewers have had excellent seasons, making the playoffs in the 2 years that Yelich has played there, and also making it to the National League Championship Series in 2018. So I think there's a lot that goes into this deal, but comfort is definitely one of them for Yelich. He loved the passion shown from the Milwaukee fan base, how they embraced him there. And, talking with his family, this decision just felt right for him. And I mean, he is a guy that you can now pencil in the lineup all these years. He's going to give you good quality at bats. He's won an MVP award back in 2018, and he is also a 2-time batting champion. So, man, this is just a big move. And, comparing it to me as a Giants fan, it'd be like giving Madison Bumgarner the extension that I wanted us to give him, but, it didn't work out. So for the Brewers and your guys' fan base, I'm extremely excited for you guys. I think this move is going to pay some serious dividends projecting out long term. So without further ado, now let's get it more into the season preview of the Milwaukee Brewers. So, we saw a lot of turnover from the roster from last season. I mean, the Brewers lost some serious damage from their lineup. It's a blow that I have not seen a lot of teams in baseball history lose as much home run and RBI thump in the lineup, because they lost 3 big guys. So we're going to get into that. The first name, of course, is Mike Moustakas, who ended up going to the Cincinnati Reds. And you look at the numbers he put up last season with Milwaukee. He hit 35 home runs and 87 RBIs. And I mean, he was a great player in his days with the Kansas City Royals. Also a big veteran leadership in that clubhouse. And then another big veteran leadership guy in the clubhouse also was Eric Thames, who they lost. He hit 25 home runs and 61 RBIs last season with Milwaukee. So one of the big question marks, I think, that going into the season for the Brewers is going to be, how does this team respond when a couple of the veterans that, were high leadership guys that, essentially maybe kept the team, helped keep the team together, keep the team loose, have everyone playing up to their ability. Now that these guys are gone out of the clubhouse, is that going to mess with the clubhouse chemistry? So, that's one of the question marks that I definitely would ask going into the season. I'm going to be curious to see, does the clubhouse chemistry, does it still, again, continue off of the last couple of years of, the success, making it to the playoffs, and, doing those kind of things. The other player that they lost, damage guys, Yasmani Grandal, the catcher, he hit 28 home runs and knocked in 77 RBIs. So, yeah, a lot of thump that the Brewers lost. So give the Brewers front office some credit, because they did go out in free agency and try to kind of make up for those losses, but how do you really go out and make up for all of that damage that I just mentioned to you? So one of the additions the Brewers made in the offseason, they brought in 28-year-old outfielder Avisail Garcia, signing him to a 2-year, $20 million deal. And if we look at the numbers he put up last season, he spent with the Tampa Bay Rays, and in 125 games, he hit .282, knocking 20 home runs and 72 RBIs. So I think he's going to be a fabulous addition for the Brewers. He will fit great in their outfield, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. Now, another big addition that they added, Justin Smoak, a middle infielder. He spent last year with the Toronto Blue Jays, and in 121 games, he hit .208, so not very good average-wise, but Justin Smoak is a guy that has some serious power potential. He hit 22 home runs last season with 61 RBIs, but if we look back at his 2017 season, Justin Smoak hit 38 home runs. So, I mean, you put him in a hitter's park in Milwaukee at Miller Park, I think you're going to see a lot of home runs. And then another guy, a catcher, of course, the Brewers signed to make up for the loss of Yasmani Grandal, a guy by the name of Omar Narvaez, catcher, 28-year-old catcher. And if we look at last season, he spent with the Seattle Mariners in 132 games. He hit 22 home runs and knocked 55 RBIs. So again, another guy that with great power potential. And I mean, these three guys you brought in, all with 20-plus home run, 30 home run potential there. So I do like the moves you brought in. Give the Brewers credit. But on another level, I think the Brewers fan base might be a little upset because they felt like maybe they could have gone out and spent a lot more money to maybe try to lure in some maybe bigger name free agents, guys that are going to, go to that 30, 40, 45 home run plateau. So overall, I feel like the Brewers lineup is still very stacked, and I think this lineup is going to be able to carry them offensively, get enough, do enough damage, and keep them in a lot of ball games. And so now that is going to bring us to the attention of the pitching on the Brewers. So looking at the starting rotation, the Brewers did go out in the free agent market and try and address that. They went out and signed a guy by the name of Josh Lindblom, who spent the last 3 seasons in South Korean baseball and looked really terrific out there and seems to be reviving his stuff. And they signed him to a multi-year deal, and he's got a great fastball, he mixes a great cutter, and he's got a slider, and he's actually mixing in a curveball. So the, big selection of pitches gives him the ability to be able to get out lefties and righties. So yeah, it is a bit of a risk as he is a little bit older at 33 years old. But again, the Brewers, give them credit trying to go out there and make some moves. They also have another veteran in the rotation, left-hander Brett Anderson. They're going to be hoping for a big season from him and try to get some big-time contribution. But the guy that is on my radar that I expect to have a big season for the Brewers is going to be Brandon Woodruff. If we look at the numbers he put up last season, in 121 innings pitched, he struck out 143 batters to go with a 3.62 earned run average. And I expect him to continue to build off of that this year. So I think he's going to be a key contributor, probably anchor this Brewers starting rotation staff at the 1 or 2 spot. And yeah, that's going to be really exciting moving forward. So my final season predictions for the Milwaukee Brewers, I got the Brewers making the playoffs in the National League Central. Would I go as far as saying that they are going to win the division? I believe at this point, I'm not going to go out there and say they will win the division here, but I do have them making the playoffs as a wild card, and I do have them potentially capable of going deep into the playoffs. But on paper, if I'm going to be honest, I feel like it is very hard for me to see a team getting past the Dodgers this season in a route to the World Series. So I do have the Brewers likely getting to the NLCS this year, but anything can happen, you guys. All hands on deck. The Brewers could surprise and get to the World Series this year. So I think it would be very exciting to have them prove me wrong. But that is my predictions. I think it will be another terrific year. The Brewers will go to the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive season. And so, Milwaukee Brewers fans, let me know down in that comment section, what are your guys' predictions for the season? And what are you most concerned about, with the turnover of the roster from last year? And how do you think they are going to respond in the clubhouse? And how do you think the new additions are going to fit? So love to hear your guys' insights and perspectives. So let me know down in the comment section. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching my videos. I appreciate you guys absolutely so much. And let me know if you love these season previews. And as always, until next time, I will see you guys again. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.